So here's a quick and entertaining one about a gal who's learned the reality of where she is in the grand scheme of things with her boyfriend and his dog. Title: My significant other, a 34-year-old male, has informed me that his dog will always win over me. And it says here, for context, my boyfriend has been with me for almost 2 years now. His female Doberman is a little over 3 years old and has always been a little jealous of me being around. Usually by trying to get between us or begging for him for pets if he's showing me affection. She doesn't really acknowledge me and is instead more often than not trying to get my boyfriend's attention. I've tried giving her affection and petting her when possible. Even brought her treats and bones, but she doesn't really care and tends to walk right away. In return, I just stopped showing the dog as much affection. At first, I didn't really care. It's his dog. So, yes, pets are going to love their family and all, but the thing about dogs, I've never met a dog that didn't love treats and didn't love being petted and affection. So when a dog isn't exactly friendly towards you, or in fact is unfriendly, that says a hell of a lot. That dog knows something's up. And as you're going to see, the dog becomes more and more unfriendly here, and she just doesn't understand. Well, maybe because the dog knows your trouble. And now at this point, I don't want to go back to trying to win over the dog. She growls at me if I walk into his room and she's already there. She snapped at me for walking past her prior and has bitten me on the hand for trying to pet her when I walked inside the door. She was sitting on the recliner next to the door. All these have happened with my boyfriend not being in the vicinity. I'm just so confused why this dog does not like me no matter what I do. I'm not a stranger to this dog. I'm over several times a week, and I've not done anything to harm or upset the dog besides sternly telling it to leave the bedroom. Well, again, this tells me that, again, for you dog people out there, you know darn well, yeah, dogs can be protective, sure, and they love their masters, but still, the fact that dogs will know if something's up. They'll sense something. It's amazing. I'm a cat person. I love dogs. Dogs are awesome, but I grew up in a cat household, and I'm a cat person. I got 2 cats, and one of them behaves like a dog. And let me tell you, nothing is ever going to come between the cats. They're my kids. And by the way, they like being pet and attention, and from our sitters and friends and all that. And if they didn't like somebody, that would tell me a lot. After I told my boyfriend about her biting me, he sided with the dog, saying I'm a stranger still and I don't show her enough love for her to like me. And the same conversation, wait, you thought you were ever above the dog. That dog will always win above you. And proceeded to shun me out of the house, and now no longer wants me there if he's not there. Now, obviously not cool if the dog's snapping at her, but one has to say what happened there. But I love the fact that he's like, look, dog comes first, end of story. And by the way, we all know darn well dogs are loyal, and dogs will give you unconditional love. And literally, a guy could suddenly wake up paralyzed in his bed, and he can't feed the dog, and the dog would literally crawl up next to him and lay there until the guy died, if nobody could come and save the guy, like he didn't know anybody. And literally the dog would lay there without food and love him unconditionally. You see the stories when people die and the dogs are laying above their master's grave. Do you think any woman would ever do anything like that towards a guy when he treated her well? Right? I can't help but to think valuing an animal above your partner in the situation feels wrong. Lady, you are never going to come be between a man and his dog. This is probably the dog treats you this way. The dog can sense that you don't like the dog because of obviously the dog comes first. I'm not asking him to get rid of the dog or do anything in that matter. Really, I'm sure that would be coming, and the dog knows. I just don't want to know if I have someone who is on my side. I just want to know I have someone who's on my side when I didn't do anything wrong to the dog. Now I have to worry what if kids are brought into the equation, or if I were to move in, I don't feel safe. Well, maybe then it's time for you to go. I'm just not buying this. I'm not. I think the dog senses something about her. There's more going on here she's not mentioning. I will never value an animal's life above his, so I don't understand his POV. I disagree with his take on this, and it makes me upset. I feel as if my stance is justified. Well, I'm going to guess pretty much the vast majority of guys in this channel would never ever trade their dog or their cat for any gal, because I know darn well what can happen. that dog, or your cat in my case, is your child and loves you unconditionally, at least mostly with cats. And that's that. And if they don't like you, especially with a dog, and dogs can sense things, that'll tell you everything you need to know. I think there's more things going on here. She also says, thank you all for your input. People responded to her comments. I'm reading them all as I can. I appreciate the comments who agree with me, and I also appreciate the comments that don't. No, you don't. Both are welcome, as I want to be as understanding as possible. I'm going through them all and trying to read them from various point of views. Please know I was never here to bash the dog or him. I will not be commenting any further for the foreseeable future, as I'm a little overwhelmed. Have a great day, all. Not buying it. I think that she's done some things, and the dog doesn't like her. The dog can just sense that she's going to try to get rid of the dog or something like that. And I don't buy the whole, I would never want him to get rid of the dog thing. How many stories have you heard? How many people have you known who've had dogs, and they get that girlfriend, or they get married, and all of a sudden, got to get rid of the dog, or we had kids, and kids are unsafe. And that dog who's been the loving, loyal companion to the guy all those years is now kicked to the curb. Oh, no. And that dog knows it. So, fuck her. Find a new boyfriend who has a freaking parakeet.